Thank you, ma'am. And it's great to have this report. And every report has some outcomes, conclusions, policy implications, way forward. And this report has as well. There are 2 to 3 points which I really need to emphasize on. Okay, start my video. So if there's any distortion in the audio, let me know. Then I'll close my video. So
good.
Okay, right. So basically, there are 3 to 4 points which need to be highlighted. Number one, it's a rural survey, and which is I just confirmed from one of the colleagues at the Idara Talim Agahi that you have selected 16 districts. It's a sample. It's a rural area sample. I'm surprised that why the education losses happen in the rural areas in the pandemic, because pandemic is a urban phenomenon, not a rural phenomena, which we have seen in different surveys, and which we have seen in previous survey, which we have actually observed in the areas where we belong from, whether we are from Punjab, KP, Sindh, Balochistan, AJK, or GT. So this is a phenomenon everywhere. But I think the government schools, wherever they asked them to close it, they have closed it. So in rural areas, that's one of the reasons. One of the interesting findings, which I'm using it in a different way. I call it community, and you call it parent, which is very interesting. That the family is giving support to the 63% of the children, or 63% of the children is getting support from the family. And this is one of the conclusions which we have for a very long time ago, that community is the key for the social capital building. जहाँ पे मैं bilingual if allowed, otherwise I'll keep it in English. So 32% watching TV, teleschooling, and that's what we have believed when the teleschooling started, that 1/3 of the population is using TV television still, and they will be using teleschooling very well. But what are the outcomes of teleschooling? We have failed to do it right now. But still, 63% of the children is going to family, and they are getting support. And this is in general. Well, we don't have the data. We observe in our in our areas that whenever we go to some house, or whenever we go and sit with someone, we asked for, यार इसको जरा थोड़ा सा maths का सिखा देना, इसको थोड़ी science में problem है. They are appearing in A levels, and could you please A levels वाले तो खैर वो पैसे लेते हैं ठीक ठाक सकते हैं. But still, in rural areas especially, they have asked them to teach for a time being. In general, जब भी होता है कभी-कभी कि जो घर गए हुए हैं, या we have asked them to use the chapal, which is the oasis जिसको हम कहते हैं कि वहाँ पे बैठ के शाम को जो है वो एक ट्यूशन सेंटर की तरह एक कम्युनिटी बिल्डिंग हो सकती है. The kids are going to school. But इसमें आपने बड़ा अच्छा एक निकाला conclusion, new social compact for learning, and वो बड़ा अच्छा है if the aspirations are there. If we do not have the aspirations, then बहुत ज़्यादा मसला हो जाता है, and we have around 22 million kids not going to school, out of school children, और 6% आपने भी drop out rate निकाला है, 5.7% जो है BSLM ने भी निकाला है, which is high, and not going to school जो है वो भी 25% के करीब. So totally 32% के करीब जो है वो हमारे out of school children आ जाते हैं, which is 1/3, which is very bad. It's a very bad situation. Improve नहीं हो रही है. We are injecting money. जो आपका आज article आया है Don के अंदर, उसमें भी ये लिखा हुआ है कि we are injecting money, but the outcomes is not there. So when the outcomes are not there, then we really need to think of some other venues कि governance का issue है, service delivery का issue है, private public partnership की जरूरत है, private public partnership की नई जरूरत है, community partnership की जरूरत है. क्या चीजें हम उसमें लेके चल सकते हैं? Another important conclusion which you have drawn from the report is the mother education is very important, and we all certainly believe that in primary school education or a primary level, mother's education is very important, because mothers are the one who is teaching their kids once they are in a lower grade classes. In higher grade classes, unfortunately, because of the overall जो कोर्स होता है उसकी वजह से या बाकी बच्चे छोटे होते हैं उसकी वजह से मदर्स कुड नॉट कंट्रीब्यूट दैट मच और बच्चों को भी आदत हो जाती है 7th 8th के बाद खुद से पढ़ने की. सो मदर्स एजुकेशन इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. इसके साथ साथ मैं एक और इसके साथ रखूंगा विच यू विल हैव इन द अनदर सर्वे एंड द नेक्स्ट सर्विस. अगर आपके एल्डर सिबलिंग्स हैं तो वो भी बहुत कंट्रीब्यूट करते हैं इन द लर्निंग प्रोसेस. सो एल्डर सिबलिंग्स इफ दे आर एजुकेटेड तो दे आर कंट्रीब्यूटिंग एज वेल, क्योंकि 24% आपकी उर्दू रीडिंग के बच्चे वो भी हैं जिनकी माएँ जो हैं बिल्कुल इलिटरेट हैं. तो वो 24% खुद से भी करते हैं और बाकी लोगों से भी करते हैं. ओवरऑल इट्स अ वेरी गुड सर्वे. We will use the gist of the survey since the 16 districts are there और rural areas को ज़्यादातर focus किया गया है. So we will not include it in the total transformation, but total data gathering. But fortunately we have this. एक और दो छोटे से points and I'll stop. I think if the same districts are selected in the last survey, then the results are comparable. अगर 16 डिस्ट्रिक्ट नए शुरू हुए हैं तो रिजल्ट्स जो है वो कंपेयर करने थोड़े मुश्किल हैं. अगर सेम हुए हैं तो फिर भी, क्योंकि देयर इज ऑलवेज अ स्टैंडर्ड एरर्स इन द एस्टिमेट्स ऑफ जब भी हम सैंपल लेते हैं. तो अगर 33% से 31% हो गया है तो या 39 से 37 हो गया है तो इट कुड बी ड्यू टू स्टैटिस्टिकल एरर या एन्यूमरेशन बायस या रिस्पोंडेंट बायस. बट द ओवरऑल सिचुएशन इज वेरी बैड एंड वी नो दैट. 2% नीचे चला गया या 1% ऊपर चला गया उससे कोई भंगड़े डालने की जरूरत नहीं है. और अफसोस तो वैसे अफसोस है कि अभी हमारे नंबर्स बहुत ही नीचे हैं. So that is one thing. Number two, which is the last thing, try to include GB and AGK as well. Though population हमारी बहुत कम percentage है वहाँ पे, but GB और AGK will be a different model. वहाँ पे we were looking for a solution of out of school children, and we realized especially in GB, even in AJK, but गिलगित बल्तिस्तान के अंदर तो हमने खास तौर पे देखा, खास तौर पे अगर मैं नाम ले सकूं यहाँ पे, अस्तोर. तो अस्तोर के अंदर जो है वो एक पहाड़ी के ऊपर 6 घर हैं, दूसरी पहाड़ी पे 6 घर हैं, तीसरी पहाड़ी पे 3 घर हैं. So it's a different model which is going to have it. Home based schooling वहाँ पे बहुत popular है, but it has to be intact. वो जो उसको link जो है linked with the overall system. Last and the most important thing for me is the community building school. आपकी community जब तक involved नहीं रहेगी, आपकी local level जब तक involved नहीं होगा, we cannot achieve the outcomes, the main outcomes of schooling. So that's why it is a devolved subject, but still some of the things are for the federal level, especially the curriculum and other enforcement of quality education. It is still with the federal education. So हम उसको push कर सकते हैं as much as we can to have a quality education in all the provinces or and all the districts, because no one leaving behind is a slogan of sustainable development goals. And while involving the community and while involving the family system, we are basically including, or we are increasing the sustainability level of the outcomes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ali Kemal sir.